Hey everybody, it's time for another special edition of the Tucker and Kyle Show. Big shout out to our YouTube audience as well. We appreciate you guys for all of your support. Thank you very much. This is going to be a female entrepreneur themed show. We have Bree Morrison in Hustle Studios today, Tucker, and she is someone that wanted to be an online coach, specifically targeting women, and she went out and did it, built the whole thing on her own, and is just like kicking butt and taking names would be
She's
a
got
really good way to
30,000
say it.
followers on Instagram.
I know.
Like I was telling you, that's no joke. That's a strong following. Huh, Kyle?
It very much
Yeah.
is so. And
So-
we're actually going live on her Instagram today as well. So big shout out. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching the Tucker and Kyle show today. So, Bree, welcome to the
you.
studio. Thanks for coming on today. We've been really excited about having you.
Yeah, I'm super excited to be here. Am I talking right sideways?
Yep. There you
very-
go. You're doing
very,
good. As long as you hear
particular.
yourself.
I
Very
can.
good. Very good.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well,
super excited.
We've been looking forward to this, and if you don't know anything about the Tucker and Kyle Show, we're all about entrepreneurship. In fact, our tagline is business advice for the hustling entrepreneur.
Okay.
So we bring people in all the time talking about different industries. We're very social media marketing driven. We've kind of have taken, the success of Top Sandwich Company and Benton Media and mended it together, and we've documented it on the show, really, is what we've all been about. So we're really excited about going into this new category, especially since you're a local girl as well. You're from Billings,
Totally.
Montana, which is where the show is
Yeah.
hosted, and that's where our businesses are. So we were really excited about that. But kind of let's just dive right in and let our viewers and our listeners know just a little bit of your history first and how
How'd you get started? And
Yeah.
When did you start taking
Yeah.
Instagram? Like, seriously, how did you choose Instagram over the other platforms?
Sure,
Like, you're like, all right, this is starting to get some traction. I can make money at this.
for sure.
Let's go all in.
Okay, so I'm going to actually blow your mind a little bit.
Okay.
I did not have much of an Instagram following except for probably the last 9 to 10 months. It's grown up a lot.
Wow.
But I did create 5-figure months with not a lot of following. So I want to first off squash that belief around people. You
Really?
do not have to have an extremely large following to create income online. So a little bit of my background, obviously I'm from Billings, went to Skyview, and I'm a very normal girl. But I always had that entrepreneurial bug. I never knew what I wanted to do. So many people that have that feel kind of lost, after high school. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to get a loan.
Yes.
That was me, right? So actually was enrolled in college and I dropped out. I never actually went. But I ended up going and moving down to Texas just to get out and kind of experience some different life. And I ended up falling in love with health and fitness.
Down
Always,
there?
yeah, always
Cool.
been an athlete. So I got certified as a personal trainer and started working at an LA Fitness down there. Absolutely loved it. But obviously, just working to 40, 50 plus hours personal training, being there early at night, late at night, definitely got burnt out in that. So I started to go out on my own and just try to create my own business with my own in-person clients. So that was really where it started.
Personal training.
Personal
your
training
own
in
clients?
person. Yeah, that's where it started for me. But I definitely did not have the mindset back then to be a business owner. I was pretty young. As you guys know, it's definitely takes
It's a
some
grind.
maturity. It's some
Yeah.
grind. It's a lot of work. It's really just believing in yourself. That's the biggest mind thing is who am I to do this? Do I have something to talk about? Am I credible? There's that imposter syndrome that anyone who has a business struggles with. Totally. I'm sure you guys can relate. But it was around the time when Instagram was kind of getting started. And I heard about online coaching, but I just never knew the steps to take. Fast forward, I'm back in Montana working as a loan officer here at a credit union, just not really satisfied. It was a great job, just not my thing.
Yeah. You weren't passionate about it.
I wasn't passionate about
Yeah.
it. Let's
I mean,
be
Good
come
real.
on, influencer on Instagram, loan processor in an
Yeah.
office, not even close.
Exactly, for sure. So yeah, I just decided I had looked into different business coaches. I knew I wanted to online personal train, be an online health coach. I knew that for the longest time, but again, it was just I didn't believe in myself. I doubted myself. The thing that trips people up is that fear of failure, right? There's two human motivations. It's either avoiding pain or gaining pleasure. And so many people focus on that avoiding pain. They don't want to put themselves out there. They don't want to fail. They don't want to
True.
make mistakes. And that's what holds you back. And that's my biggest thing. If you want to be, I tell my clients now that I'm business coaching, it truly is 99% mindset and like 1% strategy.
Most people don't understand that it's almost as painful sitting in that loan processing office than it is taking the risk, right?
Yeah, well, that's what you say. When the pain of staying where you are gets greater than actually changing, that's
Yeah.
when you change. So I got to the point I was in a relationship, not happy with that. I was not happy with my job. I was just sick of everything. I was like, I'm so freaking done with this. And I invested into my first business coach, and the rest is history. I was scared to death. I put it on a credit card, and I had that gut feeling this is what I'm supposed to do.
Who
And-
did you invest this into? Which coach?
His name's Sterling Griffin.
Wow.
Yeah, so he runs kind of what I'm trying to do now, an online
Cool.
fitness coaching business, teaching personal trainers, fitness type people to build a.
How'd you find him?
I just saw it's actually a crazy story. If you guys know Sid Litch, she went to West. I saw an ad, and I don't know how much to put out of her information, but just, Sid Litch made 11 grand her first month online coaching, and I'm like, if Sid Litch can do, she's a great girl. I'm like, but I know her, like,
Yeah,
so it
right.
really,
If
I
she
think
can do it, I can,
I just
right?
think
Yeah.
it was like, God, the universe, whatever you believe in, just everything working as it was supposed to for what where I was at. And I just was at that point, that breaking point. I was sick of where I was at.
And your door was open
The
too.
door was
I mean, if you're
open.
closed-minded towards it, it would have went right past you.
Yeah, exactly. And I had looked at other coaches. It's just a timing thing. It's all about timing. So yeah, I just invested, and my first month made $9,200 online.
Your first month?
Yeah, my first
Dang.
month, and
Jeez.
but it did. I ended up obviously quitting my job, and then I moved
Yeah.
out to Seattle, and just it's been just a journey from there. I've been full time. Absolutely love what I do. Have consistently created $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 months. And I kind of hung out at that place. A lot of money mindset stuff. Like
Yeah.
whenever you go from making $3,000 a month to $9,000 a month, it kind of freaks you out.
Yeah.
You're like, what do I do with all this
You're like, what do
extra
I
cash?
do?
And
Like,
that
Yeah.
first tax season is brutal too, right?
yeah, right, for sure.
Yeah.
But fortunately, that was like in August, so I didn't have too much tax that first year. But
That's nice.
I hit the that upper limit. I don't know if you guys have ever read the book The Big Leap. It talks about. I highly recommend that book. It talks about when you get to a level, you really get in your head like, can I do this again? And that is the biggest thing people don't realize when you own a business. It is truly being present in the moment and not stressing about like obviously being smart and having a strategy, but it really is just focusing on being the best version of yourself, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
like you
absolutely.
are your business. So
you have
yeah.
to be attracting people in that kind
Yeah.
of business too. So
Can't
your
be, like,
energy
freaking
has to
out.
be
Yes.
your energy has to be so positive in that situation to
100%.
be like attracting people and like coaching them and stuff. How did you get traction on Instagram? Is it like posting every day or is it the hashtags or is it
Yeah.
just consistency?
Speaking of, are we still live even though your phone's off?
Oh shoot.
I don't know if it shuts off or not. Reestablishing connection. There we go. Back again.
Okay, sorry, Instagram.
The screen had just shut off. I was like, wait, it's going to be confusing. Yeah, that's a
yeah.
fantastic question.
Yeah. So to be really transparent with you,
Mm-hmm.
I had an agency help me grow it.
Gotcha.
Awesome.
So that's the honest truth.
Yeah.
It's good to know those things though, because I don't know. I think that is happening a lot more than we even realize. That you do use agencies,
Yeah.
because that creates social credit almost too. You know,
It does.
If you don't have any follows, like to get past that even first 5,000 is it's tough.
It is exactly. I was sitting at like the 1,000 people followers. I wasn't super active on it, and then I met my girlfriend through my first business coach. She's now my best friend. She's out in LA. She had like 56,000 followers, and I was like, "You're super normal. How did you do this?" And she hired this agency too. So that is my personal experience. I know people have built it organically, but the truth is Instagram is constantly changing, and
Yes.
I'm a one-woman show, but I'm hiring an assistant now to help me with some more stuff and looking more into advertising and stuff. As soon as you can outsource, as soon as you can find your zone of genius in business and outsource everything else, that's when you're a CEO. That's when you're a business owner.
Right,
That's
yeah.
kind of the phase I'm at right now. So
You own your job, or you own an actual business.
an actual
kind of
business.
thing,
Yeah.
It
So
takes
time.
It takes working it as you own your
job.
own job to get to the point where it's like
Totally.
I still work basically every day.
Yeah.
And-
But
Yeah.
you love what you do.
Yeah, you can pull yourself out. I mean, for a little while, but then I don't know. It's difficult
It's
to be
not easy.
completely hands
Yeah,
off
it's not easy.
because when you're hands off, that means you're hiring out the work. So the following year, I mean, you might take home so much that first year in business, but then like once you make it hands off and you outsource everything, your income can get cut in half that very next year.
Yeah, well, and that's what's so difficult too. I think that, most entrepreneurs at least, or people that are young in business, that's their goal, right? Like they want to create something
Passive
that,
income.
yeah, that's passive, that like
That's
makes
the
money
kicker, though.
while
It's
they
like,
sleep
while
type
you're
of thing.
doing
But
everything, right now, like out of that 10 grand, like you can net like 9 kind of thing because you don't have a lot of overhead.
Right.
Once you start
Yes.
outsourcing too much, you'll see. But it's interesting. Sometimes you need to have your overhead grow and expenses grow so you can go build another 10,000.
Yes.
You know, and that's the path I'm kind of taking. But I don't know. It's interesting.
another really interesting factor that I think is big about this that I learned as I was getting to know you earlier this week was the type of business coaching that we're talking about. Because
Yes.
there's so many, and I'm not, this isn't trying to be mean to people that are into these programs, but there's a lot of like downline multi-level marketing, and they call themselves online business coaches. They're pushing a product, and it's
Okay.
all about like all these people that you get in.
You're right. There
kind
is
of
like a
thing.
multi-level that's
It's a
doing. Well, they're
multi-level
calling
thing.
themselves influencers.
Yeah, right. And
Right.
like
You're signing up
they're
for a
pitching-
multi-level business, and they're like, all that's like what they're called is influencers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're all like pushing product and everything,
Yeah.
and it's all about making all this money. And as you and I started talking, that is totally not what you're doing. There's not like this particular company that you're trying to pitch, and you're just part of
Are
their
you
team.
are you writing like
It's-
nutrition plans and
So-
workout plans and stuff?
Yeah. Okay. So let's like back to my story. I actually did get my start for my first taste of entrepreneurship, quote unquote, was in a MLM company.
Yeah.
So I did go to some conventions and I learned a lot of different
Very
personal
inspiring
development.
stuff.
Yeah, but I built up a team to like the car level, and then it's a very
Right.
tough industry.
Super. I was in
So-
that too.
Yeah,
so I know
so
what you're talking
people
about.
can be successful in that industry these
Mhm.
days, but it is impactful to build a brand.
What made you exit it?
I just wasn't. It's not my thing. I wanted to build my Brie Morse. I wanted to build
Exactly.
my name. So
Gotcha.
everyone's different.
Yeah.
I know that MLM has a bad rap, but I think it's because people are talking to their friends and family. But there is a way to create attraction marketing and draw in those type of people.
True.
So that being said, I started out fitness coaching. I wrote my own meal plans, macronutrients, protein, fats, and carbs. I had an app that there's different softwares you can use to deliver a workout program to someone where they can click it, open it, and see the videos and follow it step by step. We did weekly group calls on Zoom, had a
Cool.
private Facebook group. So it's my
Cool.
own program I created.
Right.
And now, since September, I've transitioned into I now business coach other women that want to start online
do
fitness
what?
coaching.
Cool.
Exactly. So now I'm trying to get into the business coaching space.
Love it.
But this is the journey that I've gone on, right? So that's why I try to tell people, even if you don't know what doors are going to open, right? You
Mhm.
have to follow that nudge and step into that thing that you're afraid of
Mhm.
in order to truly follow. Who know, like I got my first like public speaking gig, like maybe I'll start public speaking, maybe I'll
Mhm.
write a book, and that's the process. Anyone who's an influencer.
Did you
What?
get a paid public speaking?
I
gig?
did. Yeah, it's in
How'd you
Missoula
pull that
actually.
off?
I'm friends with the guy who's running it, Ryan Bradshaw out of
Nice.
Missoula.
That's pretty
so-
awesome.
Yeah, I'm super pumped and
Oh, that's
just-
his. He's doing an entrepreneur like convention.
Yeah.
Oh
off
yeah.
the clock.
Yeah. Totally heard
Up
about
there.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that sounds
you guys
cool.
should come out.
We've talked about doing
Yeah, we
something
have.
similar
Yeah.
here
You should.
Yeah.
a
It's-
lot, but yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and
he makes moves up there.
He does, and that's the thing. Like Montana is like always a little behind the
Little
times.
behind.
So that's what I was telling Kyle the other day. Like it's so cool that there's people here that are doing it, and typically
Mhm.
a lot of them move away. So it's also great that you guys are still here.
That we're staying, right?
You're
We're
staying.
staying
The
here.
thing is if you move away, in my opinion, you're swimming in a very like crowded waters. We're out here. I mean, it's pretty simple to build brand out here because there isn't a lot of people competing against you. You know,
Right.
like we're the only business podcast in town.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Nice space to be in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Super
I think
cool.
your business is interesting too, though, because you have a national audience. You probably are. You're able to train people anywhere, which
It's
is
all the laptop
amazing.
lifestyle.
That's amazing
Yes.
because
Top lifestyle.
you really
I like
don't
that,
you don't have
yeah.
a ceiling on your client list. Ours is a little bit. Our show is local. My sandwich business is local. So I mean, you're kind of geographically tied. But with a business like yours, you could do 20-30 million dollars in revenue. Really, the sky's the limit because
Right.
the entire, really the world, you could be writing plans once they get the language barrier thing figured out, like across the sea, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, who would you say is your ideal? Because a lot of women do listen to this show. So,
Okay.
you know, are you? Is your main demographic women that are wanting to start their own business and they really don't know what they want to do,
Right.
or like explain kind of who's perfect for you?
Right. Obviously, I'm niching into people that want to build a fitness
Health and
coaching
fitness,
business.
right?
But the pillars of building an online business are all the same. So there are relationship coaches, there are career coaches, there's finance coaches, there's better sex coaches. Like there's literally any type of coach online these days. And if they have these things down of what is their specific niche, their brand, their message, who is their ideal client, what is their offering, so like their higher one-on-one coaching, their group coaching, their courses, their passive products, and then how can they connect with that person and have a sales funnel or get them on that sales funnel can also be getting them on the phone.
Yeah, sure.
So that's pretty much it. You can apply that to network marketing or MLM company. You can apply that to even what
To
you
anything,
guys do. I
yeah.
mean, that's what you do is set up funnels and stuff too.
Right.
So I'm actually in that phase where I've kind of just bootstrapped it, to be real with you guys, and I'm trying to create systems and be a CEO and hire a team, and it is a lot. But I guess I'm rambling here, but the pillars are all the same no matter what type of business, and anyone can do it. The first step truly is content, and it's crazy like how I'm even connected with you or just like Ryan, and it's just like I've just have put myself out there on social media,
Right.
and for the longest time I wanted to, but I was afraid, and that's where so many women and guys that want to do something like this, build an income, work from home, it's just putting yourself out there on social media, and
The
you have
leads-
to have thick skin.
The leads come through the content. And I mean,
Yes.
the leads come in between, the people that could be harsh commenters too, you know.
Oh yeah, if you don't have haters, you gotta
You
have
don't have-
haters.
You're not
you
doing
don't have-
something right.
Well, you
Yeah.
don't have attention if you don't have haters.
Exactly.
That's right.
Visibility equals profitability. You
Yeah.
have to be visible, and that's where it's like get on the live video, get on stories, like your 100 followers, treat them like you have 1,000,000 followers.
That is
That's
key.
so
that I've
true.
Been,
Yeah.
that is so key.
So
is
true.
Answer the comments. I've been working
Yeah.
hard on that recently.
Yeah.
You're not answering your 1,000 friends' comments, that really care about you. I mean,
How do you
yeah,
be faithful with the small stuff?
and
You'll
they
get more.
stop
So true.
commenting too because they're like, man,
So
this guy's
true.
crazy.
Yeah, and that's true. It's a good point. You talked about content and just making sure your content, is what it should be. We talk about content all the time.
Right.
What's your principle on that? Like, what do you preach is good content?
Yeah, I teach know your ideal client in and out. What are their fears? What are their pains? What are their goals? What's the real stuff that they're thinking that they're not even talking to their husband about, right? So how can you figure out what's keeping them up at night? As I'm talking as a health coach, like what do they women look in the mirror and they bash their body. It's like talk about that stuff. Talk about emotional eating. Talk about how you binged after your work, after your competition. That's the stuff that people are relating to these days. They're not relating to the booty pics as
Absolutely.
much and the
Right.
abs. They want real connection, and that is the people that are making money online are the people that are showing up as leaders and telling the truth, and they have congruency with their real life to online. It all goes together.
It's really good.
So
Yeah.
just think about like, for me, like my ideal client, typically your ideal client is you, not too long ago, right? So when I was my personal training online, I had to think of what is the transformation that I went through. And I just literally posted a video I can share with you guys. It got like 8,000 views from my personal Facebook page.
Wow.
It went kind of viral, I guess. I just shared I was in an abusive relationship and I emotional ate the whole time, and then I got out of it. And fitness saved my life. It helped me get myself back.
People can relate to that.
How many
so-
women can relate?
Yeah.
Or guys
so
too.
many,
We've
yeah.
all been in relationships that have brought us down, and it's just that's the real stuff that people want to know they're not alone
True.
and that they can
It's tough
connect
being
with
that
you.
vulnerable, but the people that are
It's-
willing to, people appreciate it.
Yeah,
They
for
can relate,
sure.
like you said.
And I have people that are like, what are you doing online? Like, are you asking? Because
Right.
I've talked about my anxiety and my depression online, and people are like, are you okay? And
That's
I'm,
a big topic right now.
yeah,
too.
and I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm great. If I can help one person, and that's when you are online, it's not about you. It's about them. You have to create content for them. It's not, look at me. It's, how can I add value to you and let you know I'm connected to you? Here's the solution that I did to get through that problem. If you can relate, message me. And then straight up posting your program, like, hey, this is my story. This is what I did to get results. If you're someone who's looking to do this and this and this, I have 2 spots available in my coaching program. Link in my bio, apply. You know,
Cool.
you have to put yourself out there. If you're not selling, you're not going to make money.
Right.
And selling truly is serving. The way people really change is by going through a program. There's 1,000,001 30-day cleanses and challenges, which is great. Some people work for that, but most people need the mindset shift. There's a belief system that they have
Totally.
that you have to help them as a coach to transform.
Accountability is
Accountability.
a huge thing. I mean, for me personally, accountability is like, it's a must.
Absolutely.
Sometimes why our situation works out so well, we're accountable to each other. But yeah, and the health thing to a whole
Well,
other level.
I also love what you just said. Selling is serving.
Yes.
And there's very few, I'm not going to say very
That's
few,
great
but
mindset stuff.
there's not as many people that understand that as there are that don't understand that.
Yeah.
And for so many, selling is everything, and it's all about the hard sell, and it's all
Yeah.
about the sign up now, and it's all about that. But I think you're completely right. The best salesperson is the one that never sells but serves.
Serves.
And that's a big deal, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, at the core of everything that we're talking about, if you can make that your persona online, and
You're gonna do really well.
You're gonna do very
'Cause
well,
you're
which
never
you
having
are
to
proof
sell
of.
anybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which you are totally proof of. So, let me ask you this for all of our women that are listening: what are the top 3 pieces of business advice that you can give to women that are wanting to be entrepreneurs and start their own companies? What's some advice that you could give
Totally.
to ladies today?
Oh, I could talk forever.
Good. Go ahead.
That's what you do, right?
Yes, yes. So the number one thing, and this is not just for ladies, I know it's your topic, people are multi-passionate. Okay, so to build a brand, you have to get clarity and decide on a niche. Like you can't say you could be a life coach, but what does that mean? Like what is the
Exactly.
specific result you're getting somebody?
Yep.
So for me, I help women that are passionate about fitness start online fitness coaching and create their first $5,000 a month. Like that is really clear who I work with and with the result that I get them. So you have to kind of decide to go. It's funny, my mom's actually trying to get into coaching and she's like, oh, I know about divorce, I know about hormones, I know about all these different things. And I'm like, you just have to pick one.
Pick one.
So
Yeah.
that's my first step. And you can then open the door and share more of your life. As you get on the phone with people, you will talk about, I'm a business coach, but I talk to my clients about their husbands and boyfriends too. You know, you talk about all the life stuff. So number one is pick your niche and know your customer. Like I just talked about, know what they want, know what are they afraid of, what are the things they're struggling with. Get really clear on that stuff. Then figure out how can I create a program or a product or some kind of offering that's going to solve that problem, because that's all businesses is solving problems.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So that's really it, getting clarity on that. Start posting on social media, like branding your content, there's free stuff like canva.com, like free photo editing things that you can make your photos look really good, free stuff on YouTube. Like just start putting content out there and start writing different stuff, like, or doing videos, just content.
So how the process so if somebody wants you to coach them, what process do they go through basically to sign up and get you on the phone? Are they
Sure.
going through your website?
Yeah, I just have a link in my Instagram. I promote my link on some of my stuff on Facebook. I have a website.
Does the link bring you to
Just the application. It's on
application?
Typeform. Anyone can make an application on Typeform.
Nice.
Or I use Acuity or Calendly to schedule a call. Like it's pretty generic. Most coaches that do what I do use like some type of call booking software or an application software, and that's the funnel you take them through. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then,
What's the safeguard against tire kickers that'll like they'll take your whole day, venting on you, and there's no credit card information up front kind of thing. At what point do you either cut them off and hang up the phone or slide them in to somehow monetize on this hour-long conversation where
sure.
they're really feeding in?
Well, and that's something to be transparent. I'm working on right now is my value
tough.
ladder, like my highest level one-on-one coaching, my group, and then I want to create passive stuff to get people in at at the $30 ebook or the $500
Sure.
course
Yeah.
versus $1,000 of coaching, right?
Mhm.
So that is something I think as you grow, like implementing that value ladder to get someone in. So, because more likely someone will invest more with you if it's easier to do a repeat customer.
Because they got results already.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So hopefully people are already know what you're about through your content. It's all how you prime them in your content. Like, hey, I only work with, this is only for these type of people.
Mhm.
I don't work with non-committed people. So I straight up ask people on the phone, hey, are you at a place where you're ready and willing to make a
financially
change?
commit.
To financially, energy, time to
Yeah.
change and get this result. Because if you're not, I'm not the person for you.
Mhm.
So it's coming from that I'm only available for people that are
For
actually going to
hustlers.
get results.
Yeah.
I'm not available for people that are like just shopping around and just to feel better about themselves and they're not actually going to freaking do the work.
Yep. So
So-
at some point in that conversation,
It's just
when
a sales
they
script,
get on the line, you basically like, all right, I need the financial commitment, and then we can keep moving forward.
Yeah. So actually what I learned from my call, like it goes back to Tony Robbins' sale, like it's a 10-minute and a 60-minute call. So you can
Yeah.
just say, hey, let's hop on the phone really quick right away. Hey, the intention of this call is I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions, figure out if and how I can help you.
Mhm.
And it's going to be a quick call. If I feel like I can help you, we'll book another call. So that's one way to do it. Another way is obviously through your funnel of at having a webinar, they watch it and then they book a call and then have a video where you're like, hey, make sure you have a pen and paper. We are going to talk about my program, just like priming them through your funnel and
Gotcha.
stuff.
So when it comes time to close, it's already set up. For
people
closing.
know, like
Yeah.
if you tell, like this is a call to figure out if we're a good fit for my program. I'm
Yep.
still going to add value to you and like serve you on this call.
Mhm.
But you and I both know what's really going to help you in the long run is to get a coach, whether it's me or somebody else.
Yep.
And that's just my philosophy. I believe in having a mentor or coach. I don't think you always need to have a coach, but I've always
For a lot of people, it's crucial.
yeah, whether it's just finding the people that have what you want and following a proven path. I would much rather do that than just DIYing it, which I did for a long time and I wasted a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think it's also, once you capture that client, you were talking about, the content and kind of the right mindset. And I follow everything that you do, and you're always saying, you know what, just go live, just put yourself out there and
Yeah.
start creating content.
imperfect action.
As a female entrepreneur. And I think that's so crucial to just be like, the first step. And we have a lot of female operated companies that actually come to us, and the owners of those businesses are experiencing anxiety with having to like go live
Yeah.
or produce content. I feel like that there's a little
There's
bit of
the
a mind block
niche.
there.
Interesting.
Yeah, so a lot of them are coming to us. So I'm actually dealing with our company with a lot of what you're saying.
Yeah.
And which is just like, you got to just, once you put that first step out and do it, it's so much easier. The other
So
foot
much
follows,
easier.
right? And
Yeah.
that's huge.
So
It's anything in
the
life.
mental toughness
It's-
with being that transparent as a business owner, that's something that you help out with a ton, probably.
Absolutely. That's the thing. It's always people don't really actually know what they need help with.
Yeah.
I know you need mindset help because
Yeah.
I needed mindset help.
Yeah.
I actually just finished. I'm working with a coach right now, and we don't really talk that much strategy anymore. It's the mindset stuff. It's me telling her, "Hey, I'm leveling up. I just made the most money last month I've ever made, and it's scaring the crap out of me. And I don't know how to do it again. I'm
Yeah.
afraid I can't do it again." And that's just the real stuff people don't talk about. And absolutely, it's like, I know that feeling. I remember feeling so afraid. For me, it was, I don't have a choice now. I just put $5,000 on my credit card. Like,
Yeah.
I have to make this
Yeah,
money
you just gotta
back.
do it,
So
yeah.
that's what worked for me. I'm not saying you have to invest in a coach to make it work, but you have to, it's the same thing. You have to have that fire under your ass. Like, I have a why. I have a bigger reason why to do this than the comfort of staying where I'm at.
Mhm.
That's the only way. And as humans, we're very we're not going to feel fulfilled unless we're putting ourselves out there and growing a little bit and stepping out of our comfort
Definitely.
zone. It's just,
Yeah.
I've been there.
That's the
I'm
key to life.
comfortable. I'm bored.
Yeah.
It's the
So
key to everything.
For-
just look at it differently. It's it's a game. Let's see how many people we can get
That's
on our
right.
live. Like,
Life is more about the journey than the destination.
absolutely. The work
essentially.
is the reward.
Yep.
So it's super fun. but-
So let me ask you this: once, do you also help coach these women with their success? Because I think you bring up a really good point where I'm making more money than I've ever made before. What do I do with it? How do I do it again? So like, is that part of your program too, helping these women once they're making more money than maybe they've ever made in their lives before? I mean, if
Sure.
you have a $10,000 or $11,000 month and you don't know what to do with that money, you
Yeah.
can make some really bad decisions very quickly.
Totally.
So like, is that part of it too?
I mean, to be transparent, my niche is just getting people to start.
Yeah.
I don't really help with people scale. That might be something
Sure.
I add into my expertise as I learn too. But yeah, I think most of the time your client is a few steps behind you. So as
Right.
I'm learning how to get past these things,
You're able to teach it.
I'm able to teach it too, and that's with any type of coach. And it's really just my energy as I'm working on myself, I'm investing in myself, I'm doing the work, I'm showing up live. I'm an example to my clients. So
Absolutely.
as my income goes up, I want my clients' income to go up.
Yep.
And if you're a health coach, it's just, I always tell people the 3 pillars of life: health and fitness, your relationships, and your career and your finances. And I truly believe health and fitness is a great first step. If someone wants to grow in their career, they want to have a better relationship with their husband, whatever, like if you feel really good on yourself and you take care of yourself, that is going to stem in all other areas.
True.
So that was a long
Absolutely.
answer, but
No, yeah, no, that's
a good
great.
point.
Well, there's a
Yeah.
lot of different facets though to
Yeah.
all of this too.
oh yeah,
That's
Is-
just
for sure.
fascinating to me.
Your coaching program, is there like is it a set amount of months, or it's kind of individualized to the client's needs kind of thing?
So I have 2 different offerings. I have my one-on-one coaching. Both of my offerings are a 3-month commitment, and then it goes month to month after that.
Cool.
My mastermind, it's a group program called the Brave and Paid Mastermind. And yeah, so basically it is 3 months. I feel like that's a really good time period the first month, it's always like taking it all in, getting the information, planning your course, planning your offering, getting your branding down.
Creating routines. Too,
Creating
I'm sure, is
routines, just
huge.
you get into a routine of being a business owner for sure.
Absolutely.
So it does take time, especially if someone's brand new. Like you're not,
Shoot, it could take over a year.
It can take a
sometimes,
while,
depending
but-
on what you're doing.
yeah, but it can and it can't. It's also just a mindset of like, this is happening. It sounds extreme, and I'm not like Gary Vee or anything, but until I got to the point where I was like, I'll go homeless for this, that's when I became successful, because I was like, there's no option. I don't have an option.
You just do the work. At
You
that
just
point.
show up and do the work, and
Yeah.
when you freak out in your head, you're like, okay, I'm just going to be present.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stay in this moment.
Yeah, that's
It's
awesome.
crazy.
So, yeah.
So
I was
true.
actually going to ask you about Brave and Paid because you just launched that.
I did.
So why don't you explain a little bit what that is and kind
Sure.
of what your thinking was behind that? Because I
Totally.
know that there's even a vision in the name, Brave and Paid.
I
so-
love the
yeah.
name.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, no, I launched my free Facebook group, the Brave and Paid Biz Babes, and I was just like, whenever you think of a brand, like I like to think of the words, and like brave is just, you have to be brave to build a business,
Right.
period. And I'm paid, like it's all, the money comes as you step into that next level and you show up and do the work and you're brave, and then you get paid. It's just, it all goes together. So I do have some group coaching already with I'm booked with my one-on-one clients, and I do have some group coaching with that. And there's nothing like when you guys all get on a group call together. It's like sisterhood, women coming together,
Cool.
just having our girl time, brainstorming, masterminding. It's all about your energy. And the way that I've grown a lot is in my network. As you got your network as your net worth. I've masterminded with like Amanda Bucci and Sterling and like Lewis Howes and just people that I don't know
Wow.
if you know these
Yeah.
people.
I know Lewis Howes for sure.
Yeah, so like I've
He's a big name.
yeah, I mean I'm not like friends with him, but like one of my best girlfriends in Arizona is friends with his girlfriend. So it's just you get into that
That's
circle
wild.
of influencers. Yeah.
1 degree of separation kind
Yeah,
of thing.
and I have girlfriends now that have 200,000 followers on Instagram. Like it's very normal when you get into that world. It's just you have to be like cool with yourself and stuff.
Once you build
Absolutely.
like a 30,000 follow base, and then you're putting out content frequently, does
It-
that
it
really help?
snowballs. Yeah. It
'cause
takes
it's the social credit that you
Yes.
get from having. So if you only have 1,000 followers, people they're hesitant to press that follow.
I
You know,
know.
when
Yeah.
you already have like so much accomplished and
But-
you're from the same like state, even people are like, oh, we're following this.
right. And there are some things you can do with your Instagram, and we'll go back to my Raving Paid Mastermind. But
Oh, I'm
you
sorry.
can.
I'm
No,
all
it's
over the
totally.
place.
No, you're totally fine.
This is Tucker. This is the way he
You-
does
I
it.
just
Oh,
asked
I'm-
a bunch of questions.
I
I'm
always-
so out there.
I'm so ADD.
Yeah.
I'm like, I tell people on my live, I'm like, I'm ADD, so rabbit trail.
Terrible.
That's all right.
Like, what were we talking
It's
about?
all good.
But yeah, you can brand your Instagram, okay? So like having those highlight things and having colors and having quality photos and having good captions. If you have 1,000 followers, but you have really good stuff like that, it is going to help. People are going to follow someone who has a specific account for something versus, hey, here's pictures of my dogs and my cats,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
you want
Right.
to have a value. Don't let that trip you up. I wanted to talk to you about that. It's just keep showing the value and make your brand look really good. And then I would say there are agencies out there where it's $50 a month and they'll do some different stuff for
Wow.
you to target your hashtag and your niche and stuff that you can look into. And I'd be
Cool.
happy to share like who I don't know if you do that, but yeah, don't let that hold you back. Just like I said, if you have 1,000 followers, just brand yourself as if you have 1,000,000 followers and then just keep showing up. And then obviously different advertising is going to help with that too. But
It's interesting too on the personal Instagrams. Like for me, anyways, I gave like the keys to my wife essentially, so she posts everything. So all of our content is now baby and family on the personal.
right.
I'm like, I wonder if you need to pick a direction, whether you're going to be kind of a business first branded person or whether there's like a 50-50 mix. Because it's two completely separate audiences.
Yes.
Well, I mean, people want to see baby and family, and totally separate people want to see Tucker's journey, what locations he's working on.
100%.
Yeah.
I do think you need to
Pick
pick
one or the other.
I
Yeah.
do. Obviously, on a business account, if it's a specific for a niche, you can show who you are still. You can put that, but you always say,
personal side.
yeah, people want to know who you are.
Yeah.
Stories are a great place for personal stuff, like professional on the Instagram
Gotcha.
stories. There's just, I get on stories, hey, I'm rapping in the car. Like, that's just me showing my personality
Personality.
because people want to connect with that too. And I'll post pictures of my family and stuff too sometimes, but I always try to add value to it. Like, hey, out with my family. Like, I'm so thankful that I live this life, blah, blah, blah. So it's just always thinking of like,
Parallels.
yeah, the different types of content. Like, am I inspiring them? Am I educating them? Am I showing my social proof? Am I, I don't know what else I'm trying to say, but just
No, I
like
hear
what
you're saying,
yeah.
for
what
sure.
type of content am I putting out there?
Yep.
I think to me, I personally hate social media. Like, I wouldn't be on it if it weren't for a business. It's a love-hate relationship. I don't
Yeah.
want to be on there just posting about my family all the time. I'm on there to make money.
Business.
Yeah,
and
there's a
that's
reason for it.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's how I look at it. But I feel like, yes, you should niche down. A lot of people have fear around making their personal account branded. It's back. What is the long-term goal here? Like,
That's
if
the whole point of
6
having a personal account on Instagram for me is to
right.
make some money.
to make some
eventually.
money, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not on here just to show you my cat. Like, I want your money.
We do like for us, we're like
To boil it down, yeah.
the tops page is like entrepreneurship and food, and then the personal is kind of like home life. But yeah, sometimes I get second guesses about that because it's like a Vander show now.
Right,
my
right.
son.
And
on
that's
my
true. It
Fine.
is.
And I'm sure
Yeah.
your wife loves that to show her friends, and
Well,
there's a place for that.
At
Like,
least it's getting posted on frequently too, because I'm always like doing like trench stuff, so I'm not really that. It's not that glamorous for me to take a picture in the middle of the day. Like, I'm
Yeah.
grinding still.
Yeah.
So that was my problem why I wasn't able to really
Yeah.
post
Yeah.
on my personal, because what I do is it's a grind.
yeah, it has to become in the beginning when you don't have a lot of money to invest into ads or what. It's like you have to grow there's sweat equity. Like,
We invest a lot of money into ads, but you can't can you buy ads on Instagram
No.
for personal?
No, not for personal.
it
Just
has
on
to
your
be
business
business.
profile.
Yeah.
Which he's built the business up pretty good this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personal though is a different grind, huh? Wait,
Well,
you're
I have a business. But it's easy. You just
Yeah,
make a
you just
business
set up
page
your
on
business
Facebook,
one.
That's a
and
better way to
Yeah.
go about it, because then you
You
can
can see
actually promote
analytics.
your
Exactly.
I need to do that.
Yes, you do.
I need to remove the personal
You
page.
do.
'Cause if we have like tops across Montana, Wyoming, and stuff, I'm gonna want a business page
Right.
for me personally, so I
Yes.
can
Yeah,
start
for you
getting
personally.
speaking gigs,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
doing it backwards. Luckily,
Right.
we don't have any traction on my personal Instagram yet, anyway. So
Yeah.
zero traction.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's great to have your personal account because it makes Danielle happy to be able
The
to
only
share
reason
Vander stuff, but like, it is completely different. And,
It's
The
very
reason
different.
I have a personal
Yeah.
account though is just to be branded
Right.
as Tucker Velkamp,
Right.
parallel with Todd. It's not like you said. Why would you care to like show off what you're doing unless there was like some sort of financial incentive behind it or
Right.
brand reasoning?
Because other
Right.
than that, it's just a bunch of work then.
Man, I don't care if
It's
Yeah.
like just a bunch of work
promote-
if
I mean,
there's nothing
I
on
think,
it. Yeah.
I think attention is closely tied to income, and attention also, since it's tied to income, it's very fulfilling.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally. For sure.
If it wasn't tied to income, it probably I wouldn't really care that
Yeah,
much.
the
Yeah,
money
much
is
about
just
it.
honestly a byproduct when you think of like, okay, I'm just gonna serve, I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna put myself out there, I'm gonna make this offering, put it out there, then
It's
it's
a
just
lifestyle.
it's
You
a
really got to
lifestyle.
buy
It's
into the
fun.
lifestyle.
yeah, you have to just be cool with like going with the flow and like just making content and just having fun. Truly.
How do you get the check mark on Instagram?
I
That's
I
like
think
check mark?
that's I have no idea how to do that.
You mean a
but
verified page?
Yeah, verified.
Well, the business stuff's all verified.
That's really all the business pages are
no,
verified.
I have verified your business page, but that's all
did.
done on the back end.
So if
yeah.
we were to do a Tucker Velkamp
Yeah.
business page, it
Mhm.
would be then
It-
verified.
Yeah, we would have to get it verified.
because that's big
Well-
social proof too.
well,
Actually, like
Yeah.
that
What
makes a big
verified does, it
difference.
does nothing other than the fact that it
It's
helps you with
social
where
credit,
you
though.
report, how you report in searches.
okay.
So whether your content is
I feel like
pushed to
when
the top when
people
people
see
search
a-
and stuff.
A check mark next to the name, it is social proof, like big time.
yeah. Yes, but don't focus on that.
Don't
It's
focus
Just
on the
trying to
check mark.
pull as
It's-
much information.
You
as
are
I
very
can.
Yeah.
okay, but that's what I'm telling you is like those are the things people focus on, and that's not the stuff you need to focus on. Like
Gotcha.
focus on your audience right now.
Mhm.
But yes, think of what is the long-term vision, what is the brand, where always have that end in mind.
Mhm.
Like where do I want to go? Okay, so I want to have this tops branded, I want to get speaking gigs.
Mhm.
So how can I make really good content? Who
Mhm.
is my ideal customer? It's like you
Mhm.
can apply this stuff to any type of business, right?
Mhm.
So if someone's following you, like what is the message you're giving? Are you adding entrepreneurial value? Are you inspiring people? Are you a motivational quotes person? Like
Mhm.
what is your thing that people can get from you when they follow you?
Basically, that we're pretty much branded tops. Like it's weird. There's a sandwich shop in the entrepreneurial space locally. It's kind of a weird thing, but I
I think
kind
it's
of
awesome.
I know I've kind
Mhm.
of inspired like the surrounding areas. Like tomorrow, I'm speaking in Shepherd. I've spoken at a lot of like high school stuff where they're kind of like this guy's under 30 and he's really making it, and we really put out the perception. We're proving that we're making it when we've been doing it before we had made it, and the more we're making it, we're
that
basically
PR.
speaking about next year, this year.
Yeah.
It's constantly doing that.
Well, yeah, it's the same thing of being visible. Like
Yeah.
you're putting your name out there and
Mhm.
people are recognizing who you are. And like we all know Top. I was telling Kyle I love Tops. Like
Yeah.
everyone loves the sandwiches and stuff.
Mhm.
So it's just you're branding who you are as the
Mhm.
owner and like how you built this business and your story and
Mhm.
you're inspiring people to start businesses. And then like Tops is just we know that's what you do. So
Yeah.
I think it's more branding you right
Mhm.
now is what I'm kind of
Exactly. That's exactly what it
And
is.
it's turning into a lot
Yeah.
of like speaking stuff, but not monetization necessarily. It's a bunch of free stuff.
which is
interesting.
Well, you
fine.
gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Maybe the
Yeah.
first year. So I've probably done 5 different speeches, but 5 or 6 this year, but none of them are paid.
Right.
Right.
So how do you make that next step to now you charge for?
For your time and
Yeah.
expertise.
Yeah,
Charge it.
you gotta. I
Just
know.
charge it.
Say,
So
say
these
you want me
say-
to speak. This is my
I love
price.
that.
These school-
I love how matter of fact she is.
like.
She's
Yeah, I
not
like that.
stroking your ego
School
at all. Just
districts
like,
like
just do
sending
it.
me. They send me
Yeah.
emails is what they normally
say,
do.
"This
They
is
say,
my
"Hey, we'd
rate."
love to have you come speak
Yeah.
to the class." Like, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
I'll
and
cut the
I think
check.
if I can like interject here with this one, I think a lot of it is because I've thought about that quite a bit for you too, and I think a lot of it is just your value of yourself too. Like for me, I honestly just enjoy being able to share my knowledge.
Yeah,
That being
exactly.
paid to do it
Mhm.
doesn't even come into my mind. If it
Yes.
happens one day, that's great. But I think like if it's all about just wanting to give tremendous
Yes.
value and make those connections with people. It depends, I think, I guess, what you want out of that.
I've already
So-
been on a tour of it this
Right,
year, though.
and you
Tomorrow's
have, so, like-
another one. So I'm kind of getting
Is
into
it
the
draining
point of-
you?
No, I love it.
Then
It's actually like my favorite thing to go
Yeah,
do.
Then keep
so
doing
then
it.
keep doing it.
I do eventually want to get to the point, though. I think as the Tops brand grows, though, is when it'll be more paid stuff where people are really interested in what I have to say. Right now, it works great in high school classrooms because they're starting with nothing, so where I've made it is kind of intriguing. But I mean, on a larger level where people are actually like, cutting big checks to hear wisdom, you got to build a bigger company, I think.
Oh, you have to build the brand, and
Yeah.
it takes time. Like that's what people don't realize. I'm sure you guys have heard, like the 10,000 hours. It takes 5 years to really build a brand. And
That's true.
not saying you can't hit 6 figures your first year as a coach. Obviously, I'm talking about coaching. That's my expertise. But it just it's taking that massive messy action. It's in just trying different things. It is trial and error, and like I said, most people aren't willing to do that. That's why with Kyle's point, make sure you're passionate about what you're doing. And I always say, like, if money didn't matter, what would you do?
Yeah.
And go do that
Absolutely.
for sure.
Totally.
So
And then
yeah.
being paid for it is just icing on the cake. It's like, hey,
exactly, it's so
this is
true.
extra. I'm
That's
already
like,
getting
that's the
rewarded.
best.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
Well, this has been a fantastic, I guess, mastermind we've had here on the
Yeah,
Tucker
yeah.
and
It
Kyle
is,
show.
yeah.
And thanks for being so transparent and letting everybody in.
You're
on-
doing
on
it out
more
here.
of-
You're doing what a lot
Yeah.
of people are wanting to be doing.
Yeah. that's
Yeah.
what
Including
I'm
me,
saying.
to some extent, for sure.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
no, I
that's-
mean,
That's
I
very
put it
cool.
in my content, like, how to write captions, how to put content out there. Like, I do have my free Facebook group, the Brave and Paid Biz Babes, where obviously it's women focused, but
Yeah.
I'm going to be teaching topics every week on,
Cool.
how to figure out your clients, sales tips, how to make an offering, how to form an LLC, how to do taxes.
Oh,
Those are
I
the
like,
little
love that
things that
stuff
matter.
so
Yeah,
much.
those are the things that really do matter.
We've done episodes like that because I feel like that type of information is just not out there. Everybody's all about just starting a business and like the general idea, but don't really teach the nitty gritty.
hard.
That
Oh,
you
yeah.
end up having to like, holy crap, how do I file
Yep.
my taxes? How,
Yep.
What kind of a company do I set up? Like, I love that. That's fantastic.
yeah,
That's
for
awesome
sure.
stuff.
That is
Yeah.
Well, to all of our YouTube viewers and our podcast listeners, please go and follow Bree Morrison on Instagram.
Are you
and
going to be
you can
getting
get
any
plugged into all of
content
this.
at this entrepreneurship seminar up in Missoula?
Oh, yeah, I'll be
Some
having.
video and-
Yes.
yeah,
Awesome.
cool,
Oh, yeah.
cool. That's key. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Gotta
if you
capture that.
are a woman listening, go and join Bree's new Brave and Paid Facebook group as well.
Definitely
and
check it
get
out
in on
for
some of
sure.
that action. So, as always, we want to thank Fisher Construction, our commercial construction sponsor, for being a part of the show. If you haven't checked it out yet, head over to their Facebook page. We got a really cool New Year's Eve promotion running.
Yep.
So you're going to want to get in on that. Also, we want to thank everybody for listening. Be sure to download the podcast version of the Tucker and Kyle Show for free on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Spotify. We're everywhere that you want to be. And if you're watching us on YouTube, we want to thank all of our subscribers that subscribed last week. Please smash that subscribe button. We really do appreciate it. And really, everything's for free. We're never going to send you anything about buying this or buying that. We just want you to get notified every time the newest show is uploaded. So that's what the subscribe feature does there. And until next week, Tucker, thank you. Bree, it was a
Thank
pleasure.
you guys for
And-
having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
we'll see
Thanks.
everybody next week from
All right.
Hustle Studios on the Tucker and Kyle Show.